Hello guys, my name is NaToSaphiX. Today we have another video, and this time it is yet another video in collaboration with Play.gg. Today we'll be taking a look at Electronic's role before and after he became the IGL of Na'Vi. Enjoy. Starting off, we'll be taking a look at Electronic's role in Na'Vi back when they had Boomich as IGL. In this version of Na'Vi, Electronic had a pretty active role on most T-sides, taking a lot of map control by himself, but rarely the guy who was the first man in when they were actually committing. Electronic was used mostly as a closer, and that was due to his clutching being so insanely good. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but I can tell you already that this round almost exclusively comes down to this man. In this round we see Electronic being the sort of second man in. He lets Boomich take the first peek here on long, and when he finds out where the CT is, Electronic is now fighting aggressively for the map control. He pushes the CT back and gets even a second smoke on long. If there would have been any CTs on A, they would now have a ton of pressure from long. In this moment, he now lets his teammates work the map. They are pushing short, and in the meantime Electronic, who has fought for this map control, is now just simply hanging on to it. This is what Electronic's role is a lot of the time in Na'Vi, and not really the first man in on a lot of their side takes. Here is another round of Electronic taking mid control with limited utility. Then after taking the mid control, he's kind of just hanging on to this space while his teammates are getting closer. He's checking for any extra info that the CTs will give up voluntarily. And afterwards, Na'Vi are actually again gonna hit short, and Electronic again is going to late lurk long. Here we see Electronic with a very clear plan from the start of the round of instant walking down into Vietnam and peeking mid. He will be rewarded for this, as Heroic are doing some sort of mid setup. Once again the pattern repeats. We see Electronic fighting for the mid map control all by his lonesome. A smoke long, a mono short and a flash out mid. With this, Electronic is gonna walk out mid and hang on to this map control he's gained for his team. When his teammates come close, they are gonna have the first contact, and Electronic is gonna be in a very unexpected spot. With this, he's gonna get a kill onto Cadian and even follows up with a double onto Refresh. Electronic got himself into an advanced position, let his teammates take first contact, and used this advanced position as an unexpected timing onto Cadian. Ask yourself the question, if you are not the IGL of a team, how can you maximize the impact you as an individual can have? To me, maximizing your personal impact is a lot about pushing your position to the absolute limit. This is what I see Electronic do time and time again in these demos where he's playing with Boomich. He is fighting so aggressively for the mid area of the map. He keeps taking fights, he pushes the CTs back, and he never lets them relax even for a single second. In this round, Heroic has a sort of bait setup where Refresh is baiting for Shushu who is hiding in the corner, something that Electronic is not aware of at this moment. Electronic keeps taking this fight onto Refresh, and he will eventually win it. But if you take a look at the radar right now, Electronic has just taken out 1 of 5 players and has the focus of 3 more. That is, to me, impact. Going over to Nuke, we see Electronic in another active position. On the T side, he plays outside, a role where you have to fight for a lot of map control all by yourself. You have to be very smart and know which fights to pick and which to not. Electronic is known as one of the best outside players of all time on Nuke, and watching this demo, it really does show. Just look how easy this kill is onto Rain. He is again getting into an advanced position, hanging on to the map control, and even sometimes getting kills from it. In this round, he drops over a rifle to Simple. He waits for his teammate to get close. In this case, it's Simple that goes first. Electronic ready to trade, just like we saw it on Inferno with Boomich. Obviously, this time it's Simple, so he's gonna get the kill and there will be no trade, but you get the bigger picture. Round 7, we again see him push to get into an advanced position. The secret area is kind of the map control Electronic wants. It's a game plan thing from Na'Vi. Obviously, sometimes he will go garage, sometimes he will go somewhere else, but his main sort of focus point is secret. If he can hold down this area for his team, it gives them a lot of extra space to work the outside. And in this round, he's also gonna be able to get a trade kill from being into this good position. After getting this kill, he sucks up any kind of space that this kill could grant him. Getting into this position allows him to hold the rotations up from Secret or from under Heaven going towards main, and it also allows him to play this role of being sort of the closer of the round as we saw earlier. The round comes down to a 1 versus 1 and yeah, you guessed it, he's gonna win it. Another example of a round where Electronic is not really being the entry man. The first point of contact is from someone else, but recognizing that the guy is double, he sees that there's a lot of space he again can kind of just suck up. He does this, he takes the space for free, comes out into a sort of unexpected position, gets a freebie onto Rain, and then gets another kill onto Kerrigan. With these 2 kills, the round is now doable, and it comes down to a 2-on-3 after plan. Another round, another outside round for Electronic here. He runs so fast into the smoke that Kerrigan overlooks him, and again is in an unexpected advanced position, which gets him a kill onto Rain. With the low HP, he's going to be chilling a little bit, letting his teammates work, and then he'll strike. Now we transition on over to the first clip of Electronic as an in-game leader. We see him throw roughly the same nades, but isn't it just almost poetic how we now see Young sitting in mid in Electronic's normal position. They're gonna be pushed back from mid, but they're gonna regain mid control after this. And again we see Electronic taking over map control by himself. This time basically with no nades used, just this one smoke grenade from one of his teammates. He's gonna find the perfect sort of lurk timing here, and at this moment Na'Vi have pretty much won the round. But funnily enough, we again see Electronic getting into an advanced position, holding it, letting someone else go in front. And then now he's gonna be coming in from the back lines, getting 1 kill, the 1 kill that they need, and the round is closed. Going into making this video, I wanted to find out if Electronic is suited to be an IGL in the long term. For a player like Electronic, the IGL role can be both a blessing and a curse, in that it's a curse if you are holding on to map control, an opponent walks into your crosshair while you're looking at the minimap trying to direct your whole team. But for someone in a very active role like Electronic, it could also be a blessing in that if you get some kind of info, you are able to react much faster, not having to worry about messing up someone else's plan. In this clip, Electronic goes a little more aggressive than we saw him in the previous demo. He gets the kill onto Kerrigan and kind of opens up the round once again. This could be because he has to worry less about messing up someone else's plan and now has a more clear picture of what he wants to do. Electronic transitioning into an IGL role, I would hope he would become a little more dynamic, play a little less mid every round and be a little more all around the map. Here is a round where he starts over towards B, gets a flash from his teammate, picks up 2 fast kills, smokes off CG and yeah, wins the round for his team. To further emphasize what I mentioned on Inferno about the IGL role potentially being a blessing for Electronic, here is a round that I think Electronic kind of changed. I don't think this was the original plan going through the smoke, but when Bit gets the kill onto the door player and gets down the vent, he changes the plan in an instant and it seems to work out well for Na'Vi as a whole. I'm not entirely sure if this was always part of the plan, but to me it looks more like a reaction play that Electronic does here, and I'm just wondering if he would have made the same play if he was not the leader of the team. Again, in this demo we see a more dynamic view of Electronic. We see the Robs move come in, something we didn't really see a whole lot in the other demo. Unfortunately, in this round, Rain is ready for him. Just a few rounds later, we again see Electronic do the same kind of Robs move here. Again, Rain is ready for him, but Electronic does get sort of rewarded this time around. IGL or not, we are obviously going to be seeing Electronic hang around his favorite spot on the map, Secret. We also know that this guy has a really good understanding of where his opponents can be, and we see it come into play here where he flashes Brokey off the angle. He does not overstep the sort of invisible boundary here set by the AWP. What worries me a lot about this round is that calling from a lurk position, which Secret is very difficult as you don't really know what your teammates are currently doing. And for the first time, we see Electronic overstep this invisible boundary, something we didn't see in the other demo. Something that, however, is abundantly clear is that Electronic remains one of the best playmakers in the entire CSGO universe. In this round he beats the Molotov, takes a little bit of damage, but gets into an unexpected position with a timing that Robs doesn't expect because he runs through the Molotov, takes him down, picks up an AK, throws out a sort of fake smoke, and then keeps on running, gets rewarded with a second kill, and yeah, wins the round single-handedly. What was a low-buy round for Na'Vi. As always, the last clip brings us to the conclusion of the video, and after watching these demos, it seems that Electronic's T-side roles have been largely unchanged. This is something I definitely did expect from Na'Vi, keeping him in the roles that he is so insanely good at, and it also still looks like Na'Vi strategically are among the best of the best. I had a small worry that we might see a couple of rounds where Electronic kind of lost focus on his crosshair or his own individual role, and made a mistake that he otherwise wouldn't make if he wasn't the IGL, but actually after watching these demos I didn't find a single example of that. The future looks bright for Na'Vi, having a player like Electronic take over the reins of this beast of a team. Just an overall great game sense, and after watching his demos I definitely have a much better picture of how good his game sense was before, but also how well he applies it to this new look of Na'Vi. This was Electronic before and after IGLing. I have been your host NaToSaphiX, and I want to say thank you so much for watching the video.